Welcome to a moment of intriguing introspection beyond the realms of fear, hesitancy, and doubt. A deep dive into the questions of the ages shared with the courage that may challenge perception, yet teases open the expansive depth of conscious awareness. This is a rare and unique moment in our collective history. And beyond all sense of dogma, I am Master Lady 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭, promising to call forward the essence of all that you are. Join me as I offer the latest self-ascension revelations with supportive wisdom. And why not remember that peace, love, and joy are your birthright? So this is the moment to bring your hand to your heart and to give yourself the gift of relaxing into a deep breath with a wondrous exhale. I look forward to joining you right now in another episode of Expanding Consciousness. Well, namaste, everyone, and welcome once again to Expanding Consciousness. I am Master Lady 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭, and it is such an honor every time that I have the opportunity to just be here right now in this space with you. So thank you for being here. My heart is sincerely grateful. And I want to share and really invite you this evening to open your mind a little more, open your heart wider, and really relax into an acceptance, a knowing, if for nothing else, moment of pretend that you absolutely can heal it all. And I'm talking capital ALL. You really can. And that's what I'm diving into this evening, because it does take the magic and it does take the majesty of conscious awareness. But these are the keys. These are the gifts that are ours to reclaim when we say yes. And take a breath on that. Just relax into that right now and go, okay, 𝐾𝐨𝐧, so where are you going with this? What do you mean you could really heal it all? What is this really about? What is this magic and majesty of conscious awareness? Good questions. Really good questions. And so as we relax in this together, I do want to first and foremost remind you that Expanding Consciousness is a library. This is a podcast, a broadcast, a series that is my gift to the world. That is a moment for all of us to be able to walk into a library of consciousness at a time when we can celebrate, commemorate, and really be in the blessing of knowing that in this very moment, with this very breath, whenever you may be receiving this, if you are within this potentiality from where we recorded this, that in this moment, you, yes, you, have expanded your consciousness further than it has ever gone before. Collectively, we have expanded before we have ever gone before. And this is outside of all of the mythology, all of the other stories, all of anything that could dwarf us in the expansion of the totality of the human experience, the human. And in this moment of conscious awareness, in this moment, especially as humanity is propelling itself, today is October 1. 2024 is when this was created for you to find in this library of conscious awareness. And in this moment right now, we are in a trajectory that is going to ignite a whirlwind of incredible creation, unlike anything we have ever seen before. And moving into that moment is the gift that comes with that type of memory, that comes with that type of massive, massive knowing. It's the recognition of your magic. It's the recognition of your majesty and all of it. All of it. And what this entire series is about is the support and the knowing that all of it is conscious awareness. Breathe that in. Because you might be saying, well, okay, yeah, I kind of get that, 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭. I'm feeling that. But what is conscious awareness? And that's what this whole expanding consciousness is about. It's about establishing and assisting you to remember so that the consciousness within you is able to rise, because anything that would carry fear, doubt, or hesitancy has been purged. Now that's a tall order, right? That's a really tall order. to be able to have anything that's purged like that out of fear, doubt, and hesitancy. And it brings me right back to why we're here, for those of you that are saying, what the heck does this have to do with healing everything or healing it all? It has everything to do with it. I mean, everything. You know, one of the gifts of this extraordinary world of potentiality is that we have so many extraordinary teachers, don't we? And right now I want to look at some of the science minds, right? I mean, of course, we go to Tesla immediately, my beloved Einstein, we go right there immediately. There's so many. There's so many. But all of them, even right now, and all of the modern physicists and everyone is looking at the expansion of energy and the understanding of energy and the way that energy creates. We are eternally in motion because we are energy. And when we become unhealthy, when we become really addicted to, because it is an addiction, and it's an addiction that begins through the addiction to carrying a physical body, right? We do everything we can to keep a physical body. At the end of everything, it's about, oh my God, don't leave this physical body. The minute you can be free of that, you are free to heal it all. And that's really important to look at as a baseline, because when we are in the moment of the freedom from the slavery of believing I am this body, then we can really look at the bigger questions like, can I reverse age? Yes, of course you can. Of course you can. The greater question is, are you willing to command it? Because that's where it goes. It's really, am I able to, am I ready? Am I willing? Ready, willing, able, right? Ready, willing, able. To arrive at ready is its own journey. To arrive at ready is really the optimum space of, I am here. It's the beginning of the mantra of self-ascension. It's the beginning of healing it all. It's the beginning of the magic, and it's the beginning of the majesty. Because to arrive into the energy and the presence of I am here is to absolutely know I am not this body. And the foundation of all healing begins in the body. All of it. The foundation of all of it begins in the body. Consider that. Consider that the foundation of all of that begins in the body. So if you want to heal it all, then it's about discovering the magic of the body and letting go of the addiction that the body must look a certain way, that these are the cards I was dealt. Oh, my doctor told me. Oh, this is whatever the mental body is trying to give you as an excuse to not command the body. And that's where the first magic comes in, when we learn to command the body. And all of this, I mean, all of this, back to the acceptance of our energetic ability to heal it all. And that's why it all keeps going back to, that's why I keep circling back to, it's all about the magic and the majesty of your conscious awareness. So if I haven't confused you yet, I'm thrilled. And if I have, awesome. Listen to the show more often. Really get to the point where you're like, oh, I'm not confused at all. I see it. I track it. And just thank you for being here. So I want to share something with you. It's a story that some of you have heard many times. It's a story I want to share again. And the reason I want to share it is because it really is a story of energy transference, a story of how the magic of the healing it all comes in. And it's always when we least expect it. And the story I want to share with you first, and I want to share one with you about Sri as well, because he was really the ultimate testimony to the focused awareness, the conscious awareness that kept him alive for 5 years when every doctor said the most he had was a year and a half. And in those stories, I want you to look for yourself right now. So right now, I just want you to relax and just kind of settle in. And I want to invite you back into Tosa Ranch, New Mexico, which was for Sri and I where it all began, for the yoga of self-ascension. Really, it was all about being anchored and birthing up in the beautiful Tijeras right out of Santa Fe in New Mexico. And I will never forget, Sri and I had been invited to do a 40-day fast. And it was early on. It was very, very early on. And we got some interesting letters and mail. And I remember Sri was very tenuous about it. And I was too. And water and lemon for 40 days. And I do remember that it was on day 22. I think it was like day 22-ish, where my only fear, the only fear I had left, was eating again. I was actually getting anxious about the fact that we were getting, we were only 18 days to this 40, and watching how we shift and move when we let go of the addiction to food, or the belief system that we need as much food as we're forced to believe that we do. And to really be free of that, and to know that I can absolutely, and I could have gone longer, that I could absolutely sustain for 40 days on lemon water, was really extraordinary and beautiful and illuminating. And the reason I'm starting there, and I'm not encouraging you to go to a 40-day fast, but the reason I'm starting there is because it was on day 38. Something that was a first ever in my life happened. And that was a telepathic communication from, of all things, a little pug who happened to be living up in Colorado, that was calling out and really screaming needed to be with me. And so I got online, did what I needed to do, found this dog. And on day 39 of our 40-day fast, with our thermos of lemon water in the car, a little cayenne pepper, it wasn't quite a Burroughs, we didn't do the maple, went ahead and started driving up to pick up my Zelda on the Colorado border. And Zelda turned out to be literally the most telepathic animal I've ever had the gift of being with. And Zelda came in to our lives at a time when many of you may remember we were having all the black helicopter visitations, and it was getting really invasive, and we were recording it, and UFO hunters came, and it was all during this time. Well, what was so powerful was the day that Zelda asked for me to take her for a walk. And remember, this is a chunky pug, so she doesn't like to go for walks. And when I walked out to where our 5-acre meadow was, I start hearing the choppers. I'm hearing boom, 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 right? So I'm hearing the choppers. And they start coming in, and I heard 𝐸𝐴𝐺 say, drop the leash, and I did, and Zelda didn't move. And I heard, do not be afraid, and to put up my hands. And so I did. I just put up my hands with my palms facing. And as I did, the helicopter slid open the door, and I saw like a mirrored, reflective kind of like helmet probably. And then there was like this flashy, almost like a flashlight being flashed at me. And it made me vomit. It made me very sick. I didn't physically vomit, but I remember feeling very, very sick. And I just kept hearing 𝐸𝐴𝐺, hold your arms out. And here was what was so beautiful, and why I'm telling you this story on a Heal It All episode. During the 40-day fast, 𝐸𝐴𝐺 taught Sri and I how to breathe through the medulla. There were lots of things we learned. And those channels having been opened, what flooded through me in that moment, what flooded in through my hands, was the greatest, deepest, most profound experience of love. It was identical to my near-death experience. It was that all-encompassing essence of love that is outside of the words I can give you right now. But I know you're feeling it. And it poured through me, and it amplified. And so I was essentially emitting a frequency of pure love. I mean, really pure love. And helicopter slams its window, and it goes. So I'm sharing that with you. First of all, breathe. And it was very interesting when that happened, what was happening with Sri, which I won't go into right now. But I'm sharing it with you because when we invite ourselves to step outside of our fear, which includes the fear of ill health, the fear of death, the fear of our body, when we really say yes to healing it all, at the end of the day, it is the unified field of our divine love essence that becomes the radiant healing energy of it all. And I want you to feel, if you can, feel right into the center of your palms right now. Maybe even bring your hands and rub them together, because what that is you often notice this is where healers, laying on of hands, bringing that energy through. What's really happening there is that energy is actually entering through the medulla, coming in and flowing through you. You're just a receptor of the divine frequency. And this is why sometimes people say, I don't know, it comes and goes, or sometimes I do a laying on of hands and something happens. That's because in that moment, your love frequency is beyond you. In that moment, you are focused on divine service. And so in that moment, everything heals in what seems like a miracle, because it is your conscious awareness of the stabilized frequency of love in its unified eternal field, not what we reduce it down to in this body. It's that experience. It's that direct illumination of soul essence, consciousness itself. Notice your hands again. Notice those palms. And so what does that mean? Well, what it means is when you're consciously calling that energy in, and this is what 𝐸-𝐸 healing teaches you. When you're consciously calling that energy in, then you can put those hands on your body. You can start directing that frequency, because again, you are the commander of the ship. No matter what the mind or the emotions want to tell you, you are the commander. You can do this. And so it brings me to my beloved 𝐟𝐸𝐬𝐿, Ascended Master 𝐟𝐸𝐬𝐿, who has now really offered us all a journey, shown us a beautiful way to do this. In 2019, those of you that knew us know, in 2019, Sri suffered an emergency experience where he lost virtually all of his intestines. And all that was left, they had just enough left to sew two pieces together so that he could live a quote, normal life. They told me he would need a feeding tube. They told me he would maybe live a year. They didn't think he'd get out of the hospital. You all remember that. Instead, what happened was that when Sri felt himself dying that night in intensive care, he was able to get himself back into his body. He was aware that he was losing it. When he got out of that hospital and they told him he had to eat meat again and that I would kill him if I kept him a vegetarian and all the other things, he committed to doing something that was considered impossible. He committed to regrowing intestine, to getting a greater digestive system. And those of you that knew Sri, they told me Sri would never lose weight. He'd probably lose so much weight he would die from malnutrition. Quite the opposite. He became chunky again. He was thinner than he had ever been. He was no longer that robust 250-pound man I knew before, but he was this incredible, robust man who was navigating this through the ignition of his energy. And every night, every day for 5 years, he would take the time and consciously focus that energy, consciously bring that in. And it was to the point where after Sri made it a year, he was already a record book. And the fact that he made it 5 and gained weight and was able to eat crazily was a miracle, because you can heal it all. When Sri and I first met, very first night, I think we have it in a Sacred Union, the journey home, there's a CPAP machine next to the bed. And I was like, I'm not sleeping with Darth Vader. And that night, he took it off and he never needed it again until the day he said goodbye to this world, ever. Because that's the power of love. That's the power of breathing love, living love, knowing love as all that it is. So can you reverse age? Absolutely, you already are. Can you command your health and your vitality? Yes. What do you want? Get really, really clear, because everything, and I mean everything you've ever imagined, you've already done. So have you given up yourself looking gorgeous and feeling wonderful? I'm in as good a shape as I was in my early 20s. And that's only because I said to the universe, allow me to command this body to complete whatever mission I am here to complete. Give me the body to do that. And I knew I would need vitality and to be sharp and to be able to say yes, to be able to run up a mountain if I needed to, or to be able to sit and listen if I needed to. How clear are you? Because in order to heal it all, the magic and the majesty is your conscious awareness. It's you. It's you letting go of that mind trying to give you every excuse. It's you saying yes, to know that the life of your dreams is yours to command, no matter what the world tries to tell you. You know, I am 64 years young and getting younger every day. And as I recently said to someone, there is nothing senior in my life except my wisdom and the ability to walk in the benevolent queenship that can serve through the years of wisdom, and the smile and the innocence of the child witnessing it all. In this moment, everything is possible. and the universe is here, and your consciousness is the key. It is the gateway. It is the magic. It is the mystery. And I want you to just breathe in. Just really breathe in and relax. Really bring your hands to your heart, remembering that 𝐸𝐵𝐸 is nothing more than, I remember myself and here I am. I am here is where it all begins. Because when you can come forward in the awareness, remember that that ever-refining spiral of our ascended self begins with awareness. And we are constantly awakening and seeing that which we couldn't see before. Our veils lift as we allow them, remembering that our consciousness is our veil. You want to lift your consciousness, lift your veil, because only you can do that. And remember that the mind will do its best to say, I don't want you to heal it all. If there's always a payoff. There's always a payoff. And the mind likes payoffs. The mind makes checklists. The mind has to put it all in paper. That 6 o'clock position wants to carry it all. And God bless it, it can. But remember that when the mind starts telling you, this is impossible, you can't do this, this one told you that, it's because the mind likes the payoff. Maybe the payoff is the attention you get. Maybe the payoff is that you don't have to look yourself in the mirror. Maybe the payoff is that you have an excuse to eat more, not work out, not care. But these vessels, these bodies, we're meant to be strong, right? I keep these on my desk, guys, right? We're meant to be strong. We are meant to let this body know we love it. And your body, if you are not in the health you'd like to be, if you are feeling anything other than the vitality of that which you are, then you can shift that the minute you get clear you want to, the minute you direct all of that love, vital force energy of consciousness into yourself, the minute that you are inspired by the dreams that maybe you let go of or the ones you're just creating right now. This is the moment. The magic is within you and you are able to bring it. And yes, it demands learning how to call it through. I invite you with all my heart, go to 𝐟𝐸𝐵𝐸.com. Download the app. Go right now. Go to wherever your app store is. Spiritual Mastery with 𝐟𝐸 and 𝐿. Download it. Just get the daily messages, if nothing else, but become part of the miracles. Join the mastery team. Be with us. Learn. Because everything that I'm sharing with you, you are capable of doing. I am living proof, as are many around the world, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people around the world. In the gift of you knowing yourself, in the gift of breathing in the gift of saying yes. At the end of the day, do you want to heal it all? And really get honest with yourself, because you might say, well, of course I do, but then what does that mean? Go deeper. Okay, of course I want to heal it all. So what would that really mean? What if suddenly I was healthy? What if suddenly I had my vitality back? What if suddenly I was sexual again? What if suddenly I was attractive? What if suddenly I just wanted to move forward? That heals it all. It does. And so my angels, my loves, you're ready to heal it all. The magic and the majesty of conscious awareness exists within you. It is you. It always has been. Ignite your field. Even if it's just, I bring love into these hands and place them on your heart. Place them anywhere on your body you need healing. And then let go of the addiction and the paradigm that says it's got to look this way, and relax into the way it looks. You can heal it all. I know it. And I love you. Please go visit 𝐟𝐸𝐴nd𝐿.com. Catch up on everything that's happening. Make sure you're at YouTube, official 𝐟𝐸 and 𝐿. Make sure you're subscribed. And make sure you're supporting AMFM247.com. Let us pray that they have done a great job surviving the hurricane. And we know that all is truly well. I love you, and I am so grateful for this moment to be with you. Many blessings, and namaste. Until next time. Thank you for joining me on Expanding Consciousness. Learn more about the Yoga of Self-Ascension at 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐿.com and make sure you're subscribed to YouTube official Sri and Kira. Remember, you are the gift. I love you and look forward to being with you again. Namaste.